So, for the past week, I've been trying this thing of waking up at 5 a.m., which I know is a classic self improvement move, right? But hear me out. It wasn't about joining some 5 a.m. club or chasing some dopamine rush from productivity hacks. It was more like I just wanted to see what would happen if I created a bit more space in my life, a bit more silence, less noise, less scroll, less rush. But man, those first few days, brutal. I used to think waking up early was just about discipline, like set the alarm, fight the urge, and win the day. But it's more than that. It's about meeting yourself in your quiet space, when there's no one to impress and no rush to catch up to. That's where it begins. Day one, I set the alarm optimistically. Went to bed late. Stupid mistake number one. I told myself, I'll power through the entire time. Spoiler, I didn't. Alarm goes off. I open one eye, stare into the abyss of my ceiling, and then nothing. Snoozed back to sleep. Woke up at 7:45 with that familiar guilt cocktail. Disappointment, self-blame, and way too much blanket heat. Day two, I tried again. This time, I made it out of bed, but I didn't know what to do with myself. I sat there half awake, scrolling my phone, pretending I was awake. I wasn't. My brain was still in airplane mode. No plan. Just vibes. Eventually, I crawled back under the blanket and called it a soft start. By day three, I was questioning the whole thing. Why am I doing this? I'm not a monk. I'm not Jocko Willink. I'm just a guy who wants to feel less scattered. But something kept pulling me back. I wasn't even mad at myself, just curious. I think curiosity is underrated, by the way. It keeps you in the game when motivation checks out. Day four, I prepped a little better, put my phone across the room, laid out a hoodie, filled the kettle the night before. And still, I woke up, sat in the chair, and promptly fell asleep like an old man after Sunday lunch. The discipline wasn't there yet, but the intention was starting to solidify. Then, day five happened. I don't know what it was. I went to bed earlier, sure, but something clicked. I woke up to the alarm. No snooze. No internal argument. I just got up, walked into the kitchen, and stood there like, okay, you're up. Now what? And for once, I didn't fight it. I made coffee, no phone, just sat, thought, breathed, looked out the window. You know those quiet, blue-tinted mornings before the sun fully rises? It felt ancient, like I was borrowing time from a version of the world that most people sleep through. Then I started working, writing the emails I'd been putting off, some ideas for a video, a couple of voice notes to friends I'd been meaning to reply to. It wasn't even about productivity. It was the clarity. The mental fog was gone. It was like I had finally tuned into my own frequency. And the wild part? I looked at the clock, and it was only 8 a.m. I had done more by then than I usually do by noon. Not because I was grinding, but because I wasn't distracted. No noise, no inboxes screaming every 5 seconds. No world yet, just me. And that's when it hit me. Waking up at 5 a.m. isn't the hard part. Staying awake with intention is. Anyone can jolt themselves out of bed. But being awake, like truly awake, that's a whole different art. So now, I'm not going to force you to wake up early. I'm not even going to say I do it perfectly now. Some mornings I still lose the battle. But here's what I've learned. Waking up at 5 a.m. really does work. It's about the insane amount of clarity, stillness, and starting your day on your terms instead of being pulled into everyone else's chaos. It's about showing up, not for the grind, but for yourself. And maybe that's where real change begins. They say 30 days can change your life. And to be honest, I thought that was just a nice thing people say to feel productive. But waking up at 5 a.m. for 30 days, that actually did something. It didn't turn me into a machine or make my life perfect, but it did strip away a layer of noise I didn't even realize was there. And what was left behind was quiet, focus, and something deeper. A version of myself I'd almost forgotten I could be. I didn't do this for aesthetics or to join some productivity cult. I did it because I was tired of feeling reactive, like my day owned me before I even got out of bed. Waking up late, checking my phone first thing, starting work already behind, it just became my default. And somewhere in that loop, I started wondering what would happen if I actually showed up before the noise started. So I made a deal with myself. 30 days, no skipping, no excuses. This is what happened. Week one, the resistance phase. The first week was rough. My body fought back. I felt groggy, slow, and kind of bitter, like I was forcing myself into someone else's rhythm. I'd sit at my desk at 5:15 a.m., and my brain would still be sleeping. Some days, I just stared at the screen. Other days, I'd open my journal and write one sentence before scrolling on my phone for 40 minutes. I realized quickly, waking up early doesn't magically make you productive. You have to earn the stillness. You have to prepare for the morning the night before. And I wasn't doing that. Week 2, the tipping point. Around day 10, something shifted. Not in a fireworks kind of way. More like a gentle quiet that started to feel familiar. I stopped checking my phone in the morning. I started journaling, not because I had to, but because I actually wanted to hear what my mind had to say before the world shouted over it. I wasn't crushing my to-do list, but I was creating space. And in that space, I started thinking clearer and writing better. I started feeling like I had time again, not just to work, but to breathe. Week 3, identity begins to shift. By week 3, I wasn't just doing the 5 a.m. thing. I was becoming the person who did it. That's when the real changes started happening. Not in my schedule, but in how I saw myself. I wasn't chasing motivation anymore, I was building rhythm. It wasn't about being productive anymore either. It was about the peace. I started protecting my evenings, prepping my space the night before, treating sleep like fuel instead of an afterthought. I wasn't perfect. Some nights I stayed up too late. Some mornings I had to drag myself out of bed. But the direction felt clear. Week 4, unexpected benefits. In the final stretch, I noticed something I didn't expect. My anxiety was lower. My focus was deeper. I could sit for hours of deep work without zoning out. Even my relationships felt more intentional. Because I wasn't rushing into the day anymore, I was choosing how to show up. And the best part? My creative work exploded. Because at 5 a.m., nobody's texting, nobody's posting. It's just you, the quiet, and the task at hand. That kind of uninterrupted presence, it's rare and kind of addictive. So here's the truth. Waking up at 5 a.m. didn't make me better than anyone. It didn't solve all my problems, but it gave me space. And space is where clarity lives. It taught me that I don't need a perfect morning routine. I just need consistency. I need silence. I need to stop waiting to feel ready and just start, tired, messy, whatever. Just start. And yeah, 30 days changed me. Not because of the time on the clock, but because I finally showed up for myself before the world had a chance to interrupt. You have to find your version of stillness. That moment where it's just you and the work, you and the breath, you and the person you're becoming. And if you're looking for a place to start, 5 a.m. isn't a bad place to meet yourself. There are things in life that don't seem important until they are. Waking up early was one of those things for me. I used to think it was just about productivity, about getting more done, starting the day strong, grinding before the world wakes up. But after consistently waking up early for a while, something deeper happened. It didn't just change how I used my time, it changed how I thought, how I felt, how I showed up in my own life. And now I honestly believe waking up early didn't just make me productive, it made me a different person. When I first started waking up early, I expected it to be hard. What I didn't expect was the silence. There's something about the early hours of the day that feels untouched. No noise, no chaos, no expectations, just stillness. And for the first time in a long time, I could hear my own thoughts again. Not the mental clutter, not the looping worries, just me. In those hours, I began to reflect, not just on tasks, but on life, where I was going, who I was becoming. It was like my inner world had been buried under noise for years, and now, piece by piece, it was resurfacing. I felt more grounded, more honest with myself. Mornings became my therapy, no fancy journal, no rules, just space to feel. And in that space, I healed. Slowly, quietly, deeply. Waking up early gave me something I didn't even know I was missing: agency. Before, I was reacting to life, hitting snooze, rushing through mornings, letting the day happen to me. But waking up early flipped that. I was choosing discomfort on purpose. I was choosing to face the day on my terms. And that small act created a massive mindset shift. It taught me that discipline isn't just about self-control. It's about self-respect. It's saying, I matter enough to start my day with intention. And that belief didn't stay in the morning. It followed me everywhere. I stopped procrastinating. I started honoring my time. I stopped looking for motivation and started building momentum. And then came the work, the real work, the kind that demands focus, stillness, and presence. I started doing my most important tasks early, writing, planning, creating, and I noticed something. My thoughts were sharper. My creativity flowed easier. I could enter that state of deep work faster and stay there longer. When the world was quiet, I was loud. I wasn't multitasking. I wasn't distracted. I wasn't scattered. I was in it, fully. And the quality of what I created, night and day. That early space gave me access to a version of myself I don't meet when I'm tired, rushed, or overstimulated. And that version is powerful. Waking up early gave me more than time. It gave me clarity, confidence, peace. It reminded me that I don't have to sprint through life with anxiety in my chest, that I can choose my rhythm, that I can begin slow, strong, and centered. It gave me mornings where I didn't check my phone, didn't rush into tasks, didn't drown in urgency. It gave me mornings where I remembered, I'm not just here to survive the day, I'm here to shape it. And that, to me, is power. Quiet, grounded, unshakable power. So if you're watching this and you've been thinking about waking up earlier, try it. Not to be more productive, not to hustle harder, but to meet yourself before the world gets to you. To sit in silence and remember who you are. Because once you feel that clarity, once you touch that stillness, you'll never want to go back. And honestly, you won't be able to. Because waking up early might just be the first step to waking up for real.